Hi, I'm Charlie, and welcome back to Perkbox on YouTube. Or if you're new here, welcome. We put out several videos every month, including advice and experience from industry experts, all to help bosses and HR professionals look after their employees better. If that sounds like it would be useful for you, why not subscribe and select the bell icon below to be notified whenever there's a new video available. Today, we'll be sharing some tips on how to incorporate well-being into yours and your employees' working days. Looking after your employees' physical and mental health should be a top priority. Not only is it the right thing to do, but it makes good business sense if you want to attract and retain the best people. A strong employee well-being culture has gone from being a nice-to-have to a must-have. Now, there are loads of different employee well-being solutions out there that can help with this, but there are also things you can do to work it into people's daily routines. Initiatives that will help them feel happier and healthier without needing to do too much out of the ordinary. Sometimes it's good to get away from meeting rooms and Zoom calls. Obviously, this won't be possible for every single type of meeting, but if it's simply a talking meeting, then why not encourage people to do these outdoors as a walking meeting, for example? Fresh air works wonders, both physically and mentally. It's proven to improve moods, stress levels, oxygen intake, digestive systems, and lots more. It's also a great way to spark creativity. Think about the amount of times you've been in a room with someone trying to solve a problem or come up with an idea. It's not always that easy when the environment isn't particularly inspiring. Now try doing this while walking around the block or sitting in a park, and you'll be amazed at the difference that can have. Many businesses now have a remote or hybrid working model. And while being able to work from home has many advantages, it can lead to a lack of movement throughout the day. It's important to encourage employees to take some meetings on the go. They can dial in, put in their headphones, and then go for a walk while they're talking. Speaking of getting steps in, work fitness challenges are becoming more and more popular. These allow you to gamify the process of living healthily, making it more engaging. And if you get it right, you'll get healthy competition and healthy people. I've done these with employers before, and it's really motivating. How about setting employees a step challenge, like who can get the most in during the week? There's all sorts of apps which track these kinds of things, and you can link everyone up, and that way you can create things like a league table, which then people can see in real time. It's probably the easiest thing to do to build into the working day. After all, most people move around anyway, so you're simply giving them a reason to step it up. You can also offer some sort of prize at the end of it. For example, a late start or an early finish the following week. If you want to take it up a notch, you could run a short and sharp competition once a week. For example, something like a push-ups challenge. This could be done over a lunch break and shouldn't take more than 15 minutes. So again, it doesn't take people out of their routine too much. However, it is important to make sure that people take their full hour lunch break. So maybe consider setting up a walking club once a week as well. It's a good way for people to connect with each other, take their full break, and get some physical exercise, all in the context of their normal working day. Another good option is to ask employees what their own personal goals are, and then reward them for achieving those goals. Some may want to improve their strength, while others might be interested in stamina or flexibility. By getting people to choose their goals, you're giving them a sense of ownership over their well-being, while also providing an extra incentive to achieve them. Eye health is super important, especially for people who work in front of screens a lot. You could print off something like a DIY eye test and pin it up in a communal area, which can be a fun exercise to do in the workplace. But it's a good reminder to actually go to the optician and get a professional eye test. We've spoken a lot about things you can get employees to do, but the actual environment that you're responsible for creating also has a big impact on your employees as well. Let's face it, there's nothing worse than sitting in a dark area, for example, trying to work all day when it's uncomfortable. So think about things like getting as much natural light into the workspace as possible. If you're based in an office or on a site, see if you can create different spots for people to sit in so they can mix it up throughout the day and throughout the week. An area for socialising is a really good idea too. It doesn't need to be packed with games consoles and pool tables, but it's important that it's somewhere comfortable where people can relax and talk. That's normally enough. See if you can cordon off a designated wellbeing room or area. It can be somewhere employees can go to take some time out, clear their heads, or maybe even take a quick nap. Even if your employees work remotely though, there are things that you can do to help with their environment there. Consider maybe giving them a budget to make sure they have everything they need to work comfortably. For example, the right chair or a second screen. Of course, what people put into their bodies is just as important as things like exercise. And while you can't dictate to people what they eat and drink, you can definitely encourage healthy habits by the things that you make available. On a very basic level, you could provide information and resources relating to this. You may think you're stating the obvious, but there'll always be some nuggets of information that are useful for some people. Another thing you can do if your employees tend to buy lunch is maybe provide gift cards or maybe even order in from businesses nearby that offer healthy lunches. The choice is down to the individual employee, of course, but this reduces the chances of them going out and eating junk food. If your organisation has a staff canteen, make sure there are options available to employees that are nutritious and filling. If someone goes and has their lunch and still finds that they're hungry, that's where the temptation comes in to go and eat more stuff, snack on things, and that's often where people start to make unhealthy choices. Finally, make sure there's plenty of water coolers around, especially if you have a very large workplace. If budget allows, maybe you can give everyone a reusable water bottle as well. Drinking at least 2 litres a day is a necessary part of good health. And considering people spend a big chunk of their day at work, you want to make hydration as easy as possible. Employee well-being is a wide-ranging concept, which can have lots of moving parts. It's important to remember that the little things are just as important as your larger well-being efforts. And by combining these, you can create a workforce that's happy and healthy. Ultimately, that's a win-win for everybody. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful. We'd love to know your tips for daily employee well-being. Maybe you can let us know downstairs in the comments. And don't forget to check out perkbox.com for loads of other content, including articles, checklists, guides, and more.